right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Another drowning at a popular riverfront beach. Tonight, new video showing the efforts of rescue crews. Under fire, a St. Louis alderwoman takes a North City gas station to task for selling cigarette lighters that look like handguns.
We don't want this in our community.
Tonight, the debate over the message they send.
Showers and storms overnight still have the possibility to provide severe weather or localized flooding. We'll time that out and also talk about what's in store for the rest of the week.
We are in a weather alert again tonight with another round of storms moving in overnight. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Let's get straight over to meteorologist Gary Frank, who's tracking the timing of the storms. Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. We're still going to continue to see some of the rain develop, and it's already spreading a little bit further south. And right now we get this break. We look downtown, breaks in the clouds. You've seen that. It's been a gloomy day. Our main focus has always been from the Missouri-Kansas state line, and that's where the development is, as this front kind of drags here, and we're starting to see more of that. I want to point out a couple of areas right now specifically where I want to look how this is from Windsor all the way to Clinton. This is diving a little bit further south. That's good news in the sense that I don't know that this specific line, which is not severe at this point, the further south this dives, the more it is unlikely that we're going to have severe weather overnight. However, we're starting to see a few storms develop near Viburnum, Steelville, Potosi. I think this is where our localized flooding threat comes into play. Specifically, Rolla and Phelps County, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m., but also many areas like Iron, Reynolds, St. Francis, and Washington County under a flood watch until tomorrow morning. And that's where I think we're going to see our main concern right now is temperatures holding steady in the mid-70s. Overnight, for the most part, we're still going to look at a couple of things here. As temperatures are in the mid-70s, we're still going to look at a couple of things and track the timing of that potential flooding, who's under what alert, and also talk about finally clearing into next week.
And remember, you can get the Weather First forecast anytime by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355. Tonight, new video of the rescue efforts at Rockford Beach in Jefferson County. Crews from the High Ridge Fire Protection District were called there after a man went under in the Big River. Sadly, after an hour-long search, they found the man's body. His identity has not yet been released. This has been the second drowning at the popular beach this summer. Authorities say the strong currents in the area and recent rains make the river more dangerous.
You know, a lot of people, they get out there and they swim. They don't have life jackets. They don't have a buddy that's swimming with them to kind of help them to navigate the waters, or they just underestimate their swimming ability. They've been out there swimming for a while and doing just fine, and then they start getting fatigued as they're going across the river, and then they start having issues swimming, and that's when they'll go under.
Rockford Beach was closed for several weeks this summer due to safety concerns from overcrowding. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Department started keeping an officer there during peak hours. The beach reopened 3 weeks ago, and it was back open today. Tonight, guests at the Holiday Inn at Six Flags are being allowed back into the rooms after a fire. The hotel in Eureka was evacuated around 7:30 tonight. Fire officials tell us an air conditioner caught fire in a first-floor room. The entire hotel had to be evacuated because of the smoke. No one was hurt. A North St. Louis gas station has pulled a controversial product off its shelves after critics say they promote gun culture. New tonight, our political editor, Mark Maxwell, takes a closer look at the debate.
Politicians have protested product placement on the shelves at big business to great effect in recent months. This Sunday in St. Louis, a politician picked a fight with this small business, a gas station, for selling a product that was perfectly legal.
They're lighters, but they don't look like lighters.
They look like small guns, but it's just a lighter, okay?
In a cease and desist letter Sunday, Alderwoman Laura Keyes argued lighters that look like guns can lead to confusion, panic, and perpetuate a culture of violence.
It really is jarring when I first saw the photos, and then I came over and looked for myself, and I'm like, holy guacamole. You know, these are really very lifelike looking weapons.
They're profiting on the message that it has and the way it affects our community.
Committeewoman Yolanda Brown took issue with the product placement in a part of town plagued by poverty and violence.
They're not selling these in Clayton. They're not selling these in Creve Coeur. They're not selling these in Wildwood. Why are they selling them here? Because they do not respect our community.
Boycott, protest, whatever we need to do to send the message is that you can't just come down to North St. Louis and do whatever you want to do.
The pressure campaign worked. Gas station clerk Louis explained why.
Because we just want to take care of our business, not more. We don't need any problem. It's nothing, it's just a lighter. But they say you can't sell them. Okay, we will not sell them anymore.
At a back-to-school event nearby, teen mentor Bobby Bostic, who spent 27 years behind bars for 2 armed robberies when he was 16, said even the resemblance of a gun could cause more trouble than it's worth.
A youth can pull that, and it can look like fire, and they can scare people at night or anytime, so it's dangerous, and they should be banned for selling stuff like that, man.
He wants businesses to take responsibility for what they stock in their stores and the signals they send.
They got hundreds of other products in there to make money. They don't need to make more money by selling dangerous cigarette lighters that can be mistaken for guns.
Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
One man is dead, another seriously injured after a fiery crash in North St. Louis County. It happened overnight on the northbound 170 ramp to eastbound Interstate 70. Police say 31-year-old Yelmer Ramirez Tercero was speeding and lost control. His car hit a Metrolink overpass before landing on its roof and catching fire. A 21-year-old man inside the car was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Tomorrow, Missouri Governor Mike Parson will sign a bill to expand Interstate 70 across the Show Me State. Nearly $3 billion was set aside in the new state budget to add a 3rd lane from Wentzville to Blue Springs. Right now, those plans are only in the planning stages. There will be public informational meetings later this month. The first will be August 28th at Wentzville City Hall. A second will be held August 29th at the Warren County Administration Building. Breaking stigmas, disarming trauma, and uplifting black and brown men. That was taking place today in Westport at the 4th annual Black Sunday. New tonight, 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay talked with a special guest who joined this year's conversation.
The reason why I'm here is because somebody got murdered, and the reason why I'm continuously going to be here is because people die every day.
It's been 3 years since George Floyd was tragically murdered in Minneapolis. For his uncle Selwyn Jones, it's an anniversary that never gets easier.
They can approach you and literally put you in a situation where you don't go to Christmas dinner with your family, or you don't have no more birthdays.
Those special moments are just some of the many things that were stripped away from his nephew. That's why Jones created the Hope 929 Foundation, an organization that promotes civil rights in hopes of creating change.
The only way that they will ever stop is if we keep the pressure on people to make them stop.
Jones was one of the many speakers at the 4th annual Ungun Institute's Black Sunday. Now, this is an event that gives men a space to have conversations about mental health, trauma, victory, and support.
I wanted to create something that no matter where they are in the world, they should feel safe, they should feel loved, uplifted, and elevated.
Dr. Marty K. Casey is the founder of Black Sunday and the Ungun Institute. Not only is the event filled with vendors targeted at men, but also speeches targeted at change.
If we don't have these conversations, if we're not connected and we're not talking to one another to say, you know what, I don't want that to be what it was. How can we make it different?
A difference that Dr. Casey is calling on everyone to step up and be a part of.
I don't want to see history repeat itself. So what are we going to do today to start this messaging, to be a part of the collective of doing something positive to heal and move forward?
George Floyd's uncle is also traveling around the country promoting the medical civil rights bill. It would establish the legal right to medical care during any police interaction when someone says they need emergency help. Well, students on both sides of the river will begin heading back to the classroom this week, and tonight, nearly 700 students in North St. Louis County are prepared. A back-to-school bash was held at the Wild Care Zoo today. Kids were able to pick up free backpacks with school supplies and even received free haircuts.
These kids are really happy. I have kids coming, picking out whatever color book bag they want. They got food out here for them. I think that's beautiful. Games.
The event was a partnership between St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb, the St. Louis County Police Department, and the Dwan Dillon Foundation. We have a whole section at KSDK.com dedicated to back to school, from savings on supplies to getting your kids back on a school schedule. All you have to do is text the word school to 314-425-5355.
MG, wrong turn! Wrong turn!
Tonight, a tragic distinction for the Hawaii wildfires. The message for those returning to the devastated island of Maui. Going to bat for his teammate.
I saw someone who just wasn't having a great experience, and I just wanted to see how I can make it better in the long run.
The ingenuity of a local baseball player, helping his teammate improve his swing.
Well, it's been hot for a while, but milder air on the way, and some of our coolest morning lows that we've had in quite some time. How cool it gets and how long we can expect that cool weather to stick around in the extended forecast.
Now to a story about a local teenager who is redefining compassion through innovation. As you'll learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, he's showing that kindness can hit home both on and off the field.
16-year-old Logan Murish from Florissant, Missouri has always loved two words: play ball.
Good throws, Murish, good throws, let's go.
I just like being with my teammates. It's a team sport. That's what I mainly like. It's not one guy.
Let's go.
And recently, when Logan stepped up to the plate for a teammate, it was a game changer. A couple of months ago, Logan crossed paths for the first time with 16-year-old Gavin Jones at a baseball tournament in Florida. Gavin from Winfield, Missouri, was born with a congenital hand disorder, but he's always had relentless resolve.
Sometimes coaches look past me and think that I can't do what other kids can, but I've shown on the field and off that I can do anything anybody else can.
When they were put on the same team, Logan noticed Gavin was upset after struggling in the batting cage.
And he thought, could I do something to help him support the bat and control the bat while he was batting?
Give him 2 ABs.
You see, Logan's passion for hits and home runs is equaled only by his passion for atoms and algorithms.
Logan's always been a really good student. He's always been very interested in math and science.
As a member of Duchesne High School's STEM Scholars Academy, he was assigned the task of using science, technology, engineering, or math to help better the lives of others.
And instead of doing something that would be easier to myself, I really try to challenge myself.
His idea? Build a mechanical prosthetic batting glove for Gavin.
Ready? Yep.
To help him get a better grip on the bat.
So its main intention was to just stabilize the top half of a baseball bat, because the power really comes from the bottom hand, and then the top hand, it just keeps it level throughout the swing.
Using the 3D printer he bought with his dad during the pandemic,
and you can see this one was a lot smaller.
Piece by piece,
and then this is just the palm.
The project came to life.
Clean it up even more, have this wedge piece.
Logan texted Gavin with the good news.
I was shocked. I definitely didn't think that something like that could have been made.
This is the flex sensor. This goes on the usable hand. This is usually the bottom hand.
Logan says this is just the first version.
We do one more? You think that's good?
No, we're good.
Okay.
And he's already working on Gavin's glove 2.0.
Grip it with your bottom hand and keep that finger extended.
As for Gavin, he's just grateful.
Logan's such a great kid. I'm so glad I met him in Florida because he's really changed my life.
It's starting to get finicky on you?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Taking a swing and connecting in a way that no scoreboard could ever measure.
I think it was just I saw someone who just wasn't having a great experience, and I just wanted to see how I can make it better in the long run.
I'm just proud of him, right? When you raise a kid, you just hope they want to be good people, and I was just proud of him.
I swear I'll find something better to put on your finger than tape.
Logan Murish showing us all what it means to be a power hitter.
But I got to make it look a lot nicer.
For kindness.
It's not about how it looks.
And Logan emphasized that we shouldn't forget what a great kid Gavin is and a heck of a baseball player. A reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference with kindness, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. Tonight, the death toll from the Hawaiian wildfires has reached 93. It's now the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history. Officials warn the number will rise as the National Guard searches the rubble in Maui for more victims.
Just so you know, 3%, that's what's been searched with the dogs, 3%. When we pick up the remains and they fall apart, and so when you have 200 people running through the scene yesterday, I don't know how much more you want me to describe it. That's what you're stepping on.
Survivors who escaped the fast-moving flames say they had no warning. Emergency officials have said sirens on the island weren't activated during the fire, but alerts were sent out by phone and broadcast. If you would like to donate to help the victims of the Hawaii wildfires, just text the word HELP to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you that information to your phone. Meteorologist Gary Frank rejoins us now with that weather first forecast, and it could get a little dicey overnight, right, Gary?
Yeah, I think we'll hear some of the storms regardless of what's going on. And the severe weather threat, as far as good news, is starting to wind down a little bit, and I'll show you why. But we're also going to see flooding that I think is going to be a little bit more of an aspect that we'll focus on overnight. Right now, it's not raining for a lot of us. We're still in the mid-70s, even upper 60s in Litchfield, but it's this area to the south, right along this front. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, which really only includes Phelps County in our viewing area. But the more important thing is the flood watch now, which is in place since we last joined you at 5. That's until 7 a.m. So this is for repeated rounds of storms. And I want to look at this last little bit from Clinton here. You'll notice how this is starting to dive a little bit further south here, right across Highway 54. The fact that this is diving south at least tells me that I think that if we were going to get severe weather, that's going to be the proponent. And it's not even severe right now. Just looking at some of the winds, even a couple thousand feet above the surface, 40, maybe 45 tops, which means at the surface it's even less. And, you know, that's positive news for us overnight. Doesn't mean we're not going to get some loud thunderstorms, because there's still a lot of lightning with this as well. And you'll start to see more storms that are developing from Potosi and Lesterville. This is an area of concern, I think, overnight for flooding, because you'll notice that really west to east rain that's going over the same location. We'll start to see that fill in just a little bit more. And you'll notice how that more severe weather looks like it will continue to dive south and stay out of even Phelps County. And then once that warning, or once that watch goes away, then we'll start to see more storms that go over that southern belt. And that's where I think we'll start to see some significant heavy rain. Now, the severe threat exists, but it's low. Like I mentioned, Phelps County areas to the south. It's the only spot inside that severe thunderstorm watch at this moment. But I'm more concerned about flooding. I think that's what we're probably going to see. 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates in some cases. And that's where don't be surprised to wake up and there's 3 inches of rain. And when it happens at night, it's a little bit different when you wake up and see a flooded basement. So keep that in mind. Wind and hail would be the severe threats if we get them. I think that we're starting to wind away from that. Tomorrow, we'll still see a few showers hanging around, and then I think tomorrow afternoon clears out nicely. And ahead, looking ahead, if we drop into the 50s Wednesday morning, it's going to be a top 5 coolest morning low. And we share that because I think that once we get the rain out, and of course, as that flood watch goes away at 7 a.m., a nice rest of the day. Early fog Tuesday, but look at those 50s as we head into Wednesday morning. I think we're going to see more of that. And we need to enjoy it because it's back in the mid-90s, and we significantly dry out after this rain chance all the way through tomorrow morning.
All right, Gary, thanks. Last-minute escape. 2 pilots eject from a fighter jet. How they avoided an air show tragedy. Dramatic video out of Michigan tonight. It shows 2 people ejecting from a fighter jet before it crashed at an apartment complex. They both landed safely on the ground, and no one on the ground was hurt. This happened at an air show about 30 miles outside of Detroit. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating tonight. New video tonight of a deadly home explosion in Pennsylvania. 5 people are dead, including a child. This happened Saturday at a home outside Pittsburgh. The blast also destroyed 2 neighboring homes. Dozens of others were heavily damaged, and that cause remains under investigation.
Please understand that this will be a slow and long process as things need to be tested, and there will be lots of forensic testing to be able to prove anything one way or another, and that this investigation may last for months, if not years.
The president of the gas company says its system was, quote, operating as designed at the time of the explosion. As gas prices continue to creep upwards, we're looking for ways to save at the pump. Tonight, our Verify team looks into whether cruise control can control how much gas and money you burn. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Cruise control is a popular feature in most cars to help a long road trip fly by. Verify viewer Tracy reached out to ask whether cruise control can also help reduce the amount of money she spends on gas. So Tracy, let's verify. Can cruise control help save money on gas? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy, the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and Natural Resources Canada. The DOE says cars use the most energy when accelerating, which is why stop-and-go traffic is especially inefficient for our mileage. Even smaller changes in your speed while driving on the highway can use more gas, according to our sources. Cruise control helps you maintain a constant speed, which is more fuel efficient. A study by Natural Resources Canada found that frequently varying your speed just 6 miles an hour increases your fuel use by 20%. You'll save the most money on long, flat roads in good weather. So, yes, cruise control can help save money on gas. Natural Resources Canada says there are a few situations where cruise control is less efficient, like when going downhill because of gravity's pull. You should also avoid using cruise control during heavy rain and in icy conditions so you can react quickly to an emergency. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like us to verify? Send an email to verify@ksdk.com. 2 Cardinal favorites on 1 bobblehead. The special meaning behind tomorrow night's theme night at Busch. The Blues will drop the puck on a new season in just 2 months, but single game tickets go on sale this week. Fans can start buying them Friday at 10 a.m. on the team's website. If you register to receive Blues Noteworthy Offer emails by 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, you will receive early access to buy tickets on Thursday. Tomorrow night, the St. Louis Cardinals will celebrate its first ever Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Night. Fans with a theme ticket will get a double bobblehead featuring Tommy Edman in his Team Korea uniform and Lars Nootbaar wearing his Team Japan jersey. A portion of each theme ticket sold will be donated to the Very Asian Foundation. The founder, Today in St. Louis anchor Michelle Lee, will throw out the first pitch. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. And now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.